Hey guys, so today I'm filming a video on my Holy Grail face products. This is going to be the first video in a little mini series of 6 videos. I'm going to be sharing with you my Holy Grail face, eye, lip, nail products, as well as my Holy Grail brushes. And my last video is going to be on my Holy Grail skincare, hair care, and body products. So I have so many things that I want to share with you, and I want to devote entire videos to them, which is why I am deciding to break this up so I can talk about the products in more detail. I will have everything listed down below, so make sure you check there. So in the face products video, you guys are probably going to see the most things because complexion products and cheek products are my favorite things to buy. And I have very difficult skin. My skin is very fair with a strong yellow undertone. I am oily and I have large pores. So all 4 of those factors together make it really difficult for me to find the perfect complexion products. So I'm going to share with you the things that I've found that work the best for me. So when I was trying to pick out things for this video, it was actually difficult for me because I was trying to decide whether something was simply a favorite or if it was actually a Holy Grail, could never be without product. So the things I'm showing you today are products that I can't live without, but I do have some other favorite products. So what I'm going to do is have some videos linked down below. I'm going to link my last month's favorites because I tried out a lot of new face products that I really liked, but I haven't been using them enough to call them Holy Grails. I'm also going to link my Best of Beauty 2014 so you can see all of the products that I fell in love with last year. And I also have quite a few blushes to share with you, but there are so many more that I love. So I have a top 3 high-end blush brand and top 3 drugstore blush brand video. I will have them linked down below so you can see more of the colors and the brands that I really love. So I'm also going to have all the products listed down below so you can refer back to that, and I'm going to just jump into the items now. So first I want to start with my Holy Grail foundation. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade 1W1 Bone. And the reason this is my favorite is because it is very fair with a strong yellow undertone. This gives me full coverage and a matte finish. And this lasts well on my skin throughout the day and does not break up. So that is everything I've ever wanted in a foundation. Unfortunately, this is the old formula. And I do have one of the new, and it's totally different. The color is different. It is not as full coverage and does not keep me as matte as long. So that is a huge bummer. You can see the color comparison between the two, and these are both labeled 1W1 Bone, which is so upsetting and makes no sense to me. So I purchased both of these at the CCO, but if you are wanting to tell the difference between the old and the old packaging has white writing and the new packaging has blue writing. So because my Holy Grail foundation was reformulated, I am on the hunt for a new favorite foundation, and I have not found any that totally compares to that. But the next best thing I've found so far is the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. Check my past monthly favorites if you want more details on that. Now we're moving on to my favorite concealer. This is the MAC ProLongwear. I have the shade NC15, and the reason I love this concealer is that it works perfectly on the under eyes and the blemishes, and it also works well for me in the summer and in the winter time. So I tend to use this mostly for blemishes. Now I do have the Studio Finish concealer, but I find that it's a little bit too thick. I love the consistency of this, and I feel like it covers really well without caking or really drying up my acne, which is why it works great for me in the winter as well. And it does work great for the under eyes, but I totally just prefer it for my blemishes. My Holy Grail face powder would be the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation, and I have the shade number 1 Ivory, which is a very fair shade with a yellow undertone. Unfortunately, this shade is only available online, which super sucks. I wish I could pick it up at Ulta, but the reason I love this powder is that it does have a slight glow to it, which you can't see on your skin, but what it does is not flatten and make your face look dry. It gives a little bit of life to it while making your face look matte, and also giving some really nice medium coverage, which I really enjoy on top of my medium buildable coverage foundation. So I love this powder. It is my absolute favorite and a great color for me. I do have a foundation routine using all 3 of those products, which I'll have linked down below as well if you want to see them in action. So my Holy Grail bronzer would definitely be Benefit's Hoola. This is actually the second one that I've owned. It took me 3 years to use up one of these babies, using it every single day. So you'll definitely get your money's worth out of this. And the reason that I love this is because it has a great neutral undertone for a fair skinned person like myself to bronze with. On more medium skin, it will pull a little bit more cool, but on me, it looks like a neutral undertone, which is great. As a fair skinned person, almost all bronzers pull super warm on us. And this powder is pigmented, but not overly pigmented, and it's also very finely milled and blendable, which makes it just the perfect consistency and color for me. So moving on to contour powders, I have two. First, I'm going to start with NYX Blush and Taupe. I'm sure that most of you have heard of this, and this is the perfect contour for a fair skinned person. I reach for this mostly in the winter time. This is very pigmented and blendable and beautiful. And NYX just came out with their HD blush range, and they re-released the shade Taupe, which can now be found at Ulta, which is great because this was one of the shades that was only available online in the old square powder blushes, but the new HD blushes you can find Taupe at Ulta, which is really exciting. So very, very blendable and really great cool tone color for me without being straight gray. So definitely love that. Great contour for fair skin. The other product I have is theBalm's Bahama Mama. This is also a cool tone powder, but it is much deeper. This will work from fair skin to medium tan skin depending on what brush you use and how much you apply. I find that this blends really well if I powder my face first, and this is really pigmented, great color. I reach for this mostly in the fall. So now moving on to blushes, I'm going to start by mentioning my two Holy Grail drugstore blushes. So the first one I have here is Sonia Kashuk Melon. This is a beautiful peachy pink shade that has some neutral to it. It's not super bright, but it is so complimentary on a wide variety of skin tones. I love using this in the summer. This is very pigmented and blendable, and it's also a matte blush. The other blush I have is an e.l.f. Studio blush in the shade Berry Mary, which is a dupe for NARS Sin. A beautiful plummy blush with some subtle shimmer to it. This looks amazing on the cheeks. I love this one in the winter time. So now moving on to some high-end blushes. First, I'm going to start with theBalm. Now, I love all of their regular blushes and their in-stain blushes, but the one shade I can't live without would definitely be Frat Boy. This is, again, a really nice peachy pink that is not too bright. It's definitely very wearable, and this would work in a wide variety of skin tones as well, but this is very, very pigmented, blendable, and it's matte, so I love this one, and of course it has some super cute packaging. The next two blushes I have are some of the Clinique Cheek Pops. I have number 2 Peach Pop and number 1 Ginger Pop. As you can see, Peach Pop is a lot brighter and Ginger Pop has more neutrally undertones to it. I love wearing this in the spring and this in the fall. They're so beautiful, and I love the formula of these blushes. They have a slight sheen to them, but no shimmer, and they're not matte. Therefore, they work for all skin types, whether you have really dry skin or really oily skin. If you have wrinkles, large pores, or acne, these blushes will look beautiful on you. And these are also quite buildable, so you don't have to worry about getting clown cheeks right away or having no pigmentation. The formula of these blushes is just perfect for everyone. So my last favorite blushes would be from MAC. I love all of them that I have, but I have 5 must-haves that I wanted to share with you. The first one is from the Mineralize blush range, and this is in the shade Warm Soul. This is a beautiful neutral peach, shows up really well in fair skin, but this can also work on medium skin as a really nice neutral flush on the cheeks. I always think of this as a bridal blush. I use it a lot in the fall. So this blush has a very strong sheen, but no chunky glitter, so a beautiful blush I could not be without. Then I have 2 blushes from their permanent line. The first one I have is the shade Melba, which is a matte finish, and the second shade is Fleur Power, which is a satin finish, and this is a really nice pinky peach color, and this is a pinky coral. So those blushes are really beautiful, very pigmented, and blend well into the skin. Those you do need a stippling brush with because they can be overly pigmented. Then I have 2 limited edition MAC blushes that I could not be without. First off is from the Sharon Osbourne collection that came out about summer 2014, and this is in the shade Peaches and Cream, which is a satin finish. And this is a beautiful deep rose color with a little bit of warmth to it. It's really beautiful. Really enjoy that one. The second blush I have is from the Simpsons collection, and this is in the shade Sideshow You. This is a beautiful pinky peach shade that is very neon. I love this one. This also is a satin finish. That is probably my favorite finish from MAC. It does show up matte on the skin, but not dry looking. So So my last category would be highlighter, and I only have one. That would be theBalm's Mary LouManizer. This is a beautiful metallic champagne highlight, and again, as a fair skin person, it can be really hard to find highlights that will actually show up in the skin, and I love the metallic finish to this. This one shows up perfectly on my skin without being too over the top. So guys, those are all of my Holy Grail face products. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are looking forward to my next couple videos in this mini series. Please leave a comment down below of your Holy Grail face products. I would really love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.